Hello, and welcome to the Banker's Tech Talk video series. I'm Joy Macknight, Deputy and Technology Editor at The Banker, and I'm joined by Shachar Bialick, who's CEO of Curve, which allows people to combine an unlimited number of bank cards into one physical card payment. Shachar, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
So you have a very impressive mission statement, which is to make payments and also the way people manage money completely simplified.
Yes.
How do you deliver on that?
It's a very ambitious vision. It's going to take us a long time, if ever, to actually really achieve it. But so far we're delivering not so bad on this mission. So our mission statement in the company, if you go to each one of our team members and ask them, what are you working on? And they should be able to answer you that whatever they're doing is helping us achieve more about our mission, which is to simplify and unify the way people spend, send, see, and save. And if we really want to achieve this very big vision of connecting the world of money, because by connecting the world of money, you will be able to access and discover the best financial products and services for you, and then you will be able to control your financial life, which means you can control your life and live your ultimate life better. By achieving this mission, by working constantly on this mission day in and day out, we'll slowly achieve this vision. So we started with a way to simplify and unify the way you spend, which is one of the most frequent activity people do with their money. I'm spending money every day, sometimes multiple times a day. Sometimes I'm doing it even without my knowledge, which is with direct debits and so forth. And we've managed to connect to users' accounts and debit cards and credit card into one platform. And this one platform allows me also to pay through that with one Curve card. And I will then get a host of benefits. I'm saving money on FX when I travel. I don't have to buy a new FX card. I don't have to buy currencies in advance. I don't have to think about it. I just use the cards I love and trust.
And I know that you have a functionality called Go Back in Time.
Yeah.
What is that exactly?
So the Go Back in Time functionality allows users to change the payment card they've spent after they make the transaction. So the use case, as an example, would be as a user, I would spend money with my business card, but actually it was supposed to be a personal transaction. So instead of going to my accountant and explaining and providing receipts and the accountant doing some accountant's magic, I just go to the app and one tap, the transaction is being moved into my personal card, even after 14 days. And the idea behind that started as if you have all your cards in one place and you have one card, you need sometimes to change the card, so you need to stand in a queue and choose the right card, or you sometimes don't have an internet connection, forgot about it, or just don't have time. So you want to remove this friction from the user. Pay, forget about it, and when you have time, figure out which card you want to pay with.
And I know you also have teamed up with Xero,
Yes.
which is another startup.
Yes.
Can you tell me what kind of benefits that's going to bring to your clients and potential clients?
Yes, of course. So once you connect the entire user's data into one place, we can then help the user leverage this data and remove different friction points and workflows the user has. So once I spend money, especially if it's a business spend, I then need to start submitting expenses, take the receipt information, and then my bookkeeper also need to reconcile this spend with the transaction in the account. There's a huge workflow that the user and their bookkeepers need to do to basically close the loop for the business expense transaction according to law. What we are able to do, and we've done it with Xero, is that as a user, when I make a business transaction, I pay and I forget about it. All the other workflow of submitting the expense and reconciling that with the accounts is being done automatically. And this is a great example of the possibilities that we can do with Curve. So we launched it in October last year, in 2017. We won as the #1 integration with Xero by Xero and customers and judging panel. Since then, we had over 50,000 business users who signed up to the product. In Curve, we have an element within the app called Curve Connect. And within Curve Connect, users can discover new products and services and begin connecting their different data points or bank accounts into other different elements. So similar to Zapier and if this then that.
And my last question is really around Payment Services Directive 2 and the move to open banking. Obviously the open banking came in the UK earlier this year.
Yeah.
Is that going to change your business model, or do you think it's going to open up new opportunities?
PSD2 and open banking and PSD1 and many other regulations that have been introduced to the market in the past 10 years by the European Commission and domestic regulators are remarkable. You don't see many verticals in the history of time where you see the regulator understand that there is an issue with competition and introducing very clever rules to basically increase competition in the market and disintermediating that. Before Curve emerged as Curve and we had to figure out the name, we knew what we can do with PSD2 and also PSD1 regulation. In fact, the reason the name of Curve, the company called, is because if you surf, you know that you have to start paddle before the wave goes up, and you have to be on the curve of the wave in order to not fall. We are on the curve. We are coming on PSD2. So about 50% of how Curve works is based on this regulation. Without PSD2, unlikely Curve would be able to satisfy itself. It's an innovative product. It did not exist before. New regulation has been introduced by different schemes to satisfy the PSD2 regulation and allow Curve to exist. And as open banking will emerge, the standardization is still being worked out with different banks and the APIs are still being developed. But the more open banking will happen, the more Curve can become the platform we're building, which is de facto an operating system sits on top of the entire financial stacks, allowing users to access and discover the financial products and services, all the data in one place, and discovery of financial tools and products without thinking about it.
Excellent. All right. Thank you so much, Shachar.
Thank you very much for the time.